Alrighty. Now that we got everybody here, because Jester's a bitch.
Just like, oh no, my internet's out, guys. I guess I
Yeah,
can't
that's
be
very
here.
believable. Uh-huh.
I mean, Josh did get hosted
Sure.
by the mole people for years, but I feel it's kind of an interesting coincidence.
Josh ready to play D&D. The nefarious truck driver about to crash into the local fucking outlet again.
The truck driver after a hard day of isekaiing random people crossing the street.
For real, dude. It was fucking
Time to park my truck in the internet box down the street.
They finally got a
recharge.
guardrail strong enough to hold the fucking car back. I will say,
We
by
need
the
a
way,
bigger truck.
it is fucking dented, by the way.
What
We need a
if
better
around that
classic
pole
truck.
they deployed like tank traps? Like the big I-beam ones.
I would fucking wish they would do that.
Gotham deserves a better class of internet box.
Alright. If we want to do a little bit of rewind to try and address the socket in the room.
And we could or we could not, you know. That's just my opinion. That
Could
I feel
be.
like it's gonna be even more awkward if we do that like now of all times. Where it's
Yeah.
like, you know, after like 2 weeks, we're now deciding to talk to you.
Yeah.
Well, not really 2 weeks. It's more of like,
It would definitely be something that would happen on the day.
yeah.
He just wasn't there.
As he finally comes back online.
He powers back on.
I mean, yeah, I would assume that Socket has been probably a state similar to inert, as he has been fighting his way out of his brain.
Pretty much.
since.
So, very short recap because it was all that wonderful, fucking horrible feelings. As everyone had collected themselves at Aeropond, collected their effects set still tied, decided to not take up Blood Fury just yet on that mission, especially since the one interested had been the one unfortunately felled by Bayless in the previous combat. It was in these circumstances that the party was able to collect themselves, make themselves ready to the best of their degree, and prepare to journey on a ship after speaking with Opal and Mallow back at, well, the doctor's office that was previously for, found out that Ben had given them, well, not only sent them a letter, but also a wondrous figure of power, a griffin, bronze griffin, to protect them effectively. If they were to travel or go anywhere, be able to escape with it. Given the bad news, they were able to give a letter that, once set out, would be able to request that the Goliaths arrive with a longship to be able to bring the party back to Ven's homeland. Seeing the situation at hand and finding out that the Goliaths and, well, much of the Sun Clan and others who reside within Alceraz, they came to the realization that this might be the best course of action, and especially with Ben's body preserved, the journey would be made fairly quickly by ship, especially on the shore, only 10 days with the Goliaths at hand. There was a brief moment where the captain had seen your strange group on the docks when you were waiting. Made sure to double check as you were bringing the dead home. You could tell that they are protective of rights and respect, not just seeking to be paid to escorting people up and down, but upon a special request. Especially after confirming Ven's unfortunate demise, he welcomed you onto the ship, along with this humongous longship that had multiple Goliaths rowing. You did find out that the captaincy was Vogan Dawnjumper, and had given your time to have privacy of the 10-day journey, so that you would be able to prepare. It's at this point that Vogan had landed and dropped the party off accordingly, and their agreement at that point wasted no time getting supplies, packing up, and unloading what all you've been brought, and what very little there might be. It was at that point that Azure had sent out a full sending. The target recipient was that event's mother. If I can pronounce this correctly, Emily. But it was with some difficulty, and the news itself, that the party had informed her that they were here and needed to discuss matters. With some hesitation and curiosity, she agreed to come meet at the docks. It is as she does approach. You see her eyes scanning the group. Very clearly looking for someone. As this woman starts to approach, you see her kind of stiffen up her back a little bit, but then also kind of study over the very obvious slot that you are sticking out.
Am I in a box somewhere? At this stage?
And a sealed crate on the ship. Nailed shut.
Well,
nailed shut, and it's rapidly filling with water.
I mean, none of the this is fine.
at that point, you probably would have been unloaded. The Goliaths didn't really want to keep a stone man unless they wanted a stone man anchor, maybe.
It's a good career path. You just jump off the side of the ship holding a chain. That's a good Warforged job right there.
If you find a rock below, grab onto it.
And you just hang out down there until they tug on it a couple times. Like, oh, okay, it's time for me to go back up. And you climb back up the chain.
Combination diver and anchor.
The best build diver.
Get like 9 of them and you can still move at night even when you can't sail. Because you just get them all to walk along the bottom.
It's like Pirates of the Caribbean, but somehow even dumber.
Even stupider.
Their ship's moving without the wind, sir.
What the fuck?
The way worse version of the How to Train Your Dragon's boat pulled by a giant dragon.
For real.
Boat pulled by a guy in a diving bell.
Tugboat physics, baby. So, as she goes to greet your group, Azura, you recognize, especially a little bit from the description having to do the sending from Ven originally. see there is almost a fearful, hesitant moment of her wanting to not even ask the question. So where's Ven?
I'm sorry. Ven is not with us.
We did bring his body. Is there a more appropriate place we could do this?
Right. Follow me. I will. I will show you the way in. I will let his father know. As you see her doing her best in her composure, even her eyes watering a little bit, but still holding it back for the moment.
I suppose we have a child-sized coffin with us.
I don't know what we're transporting, and I assume we have some kind of coffin.
Certainly not a bag of holding, as is the
Effectively.
usual.
Then within that coffin and with gentle repose on him.
Mm-hmm.
We can finally revisit the age-old joke of the child in a coffin being carried by a single man sprinting down the street.
Jesus Christ.
We've come full circle.
What?
Very old Warhammer reference.
Yeah.
Oh,
The child in that one was still alive. Don't worry about it.
And didn't want to be in the coffin.
oh.
Yeah, that's not important now.
She does lead to, well, a more modest looking homestead.
Oh no!
It's at that point, especially walking through the city, you see plenty of other what seems to be families, all varying clans and such. Some giving curious glances at the group, but then also some sorrowful as they see it partially as a small procession of Ven's mother trying to keep her composure, but then also a very estranged group with a coffin. Once you reach their homestead, please bring it inside. As she will lead you into this much older, partially of stone and some braces of wood as well. Still living much more relaxed lives. None so busy here that everything be made of metal, but still just more or less the peaceful greenery and nature that still reclaims the edges of these lands that haven't been consumed with ash and fire.
No. I'll go inside and find an appropriate place to sit down the coffee.
I was gonna say coffin's probably big for Wembley, but it's a child's coffin. It's perfect for a hobbit to carry.
Yeah, it's fucked up, isn't
Yeah.
it?
It looks normal size when I hold it.
God, that's so sad.
So he is still
Yeah.
holding a whole
Think of
coffin
your
by himself.
Think of the halfling savings on coffins. Like,
Oh my god.
if you think about it
Yeah,
economically, being small size is
Thousands.
really a massive gold saver for funerals.
I've probably got it like over one shoulder.
He's a strong man.
True.
That's gonna be a custom jar.
Cost
When
you
you-
double.
Double and overtime.
Double in cost and double materials.
I need a really big tree. I'm gonna have to pay another guy a lot of money to get the really big tree in here.
As Enley will gesture for a more open area within the living space. See that there is quite the number of stories that tell within this room. Old objects from around the world, relics that look probably older than this family. Many, many books that are lining the walls on one section, others that look equally ancient in scroll form. Clearly, entire generations passed through and have sent back stories. Once you sit down, the coffin, she does take a moment to kneel beside it. There's a guest room that you can all use. And she will gesture at another side of the old house.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you for bringing him out.
It was the least we could do, after all.
She will just very quietly go to lean and half hug the coffin. as you at your discretion if you would use the room or take a moment to look at the town surrounding Ben's home. You do see some recognition in others that are probably spreading the news very quickly. But they do not interfere. It would be at this point that as this is going on, you could tell there is still some difficulty, but especially but you can definitely tell it's a scenting spell of her own. And half-choked words. Probably informing her husband of what has happened.
We'll go around the town and see how it's changed since he's last been here.
Yes, you would see probably a great deal of older generations that have returned home, a couple of more interesting pieces that have been collected. The town not really industrialized, but bring some ease. You can tell that they still are very much dependent more or less on the natural order of things, but magic is still welcome. Especially seeing the larger expanse, you can tell that this area is definitely still expanding with greenery, and even the plants themselves seem to have improved a little bit over time.
Oh, like the line where the greenery became ash, that's moved further out, since I remember.
Yes, they are
Nice.
successfully reclaiming the land from whatever elemental fire there is a little bit for these areas. It does become harsh and difficult, but they have thankfully thrived here on the coast. Especially for some that you could tell is fairly sad, even though the news is traveling through, especially for what seems to be the head of the Sun Clan, for what you could tell.
Mhm.
Still quite the number of young adventuring faces, others that are much more relaxed and not so panicked in some cases, especially for what was, seen coming through town effectively. You would hear not too far behind you, been an age since I've seen someone like you walking around here.
Oh no, my past coming back to haunt me. Turn around.
With that, because this is so fucking funny of what we just watched the other night.
What?
Don't worry, don't worry.
Is it Mario?
No, a younger girl.
It's a me.
One who could
Okay.
probably be equal to like your daughter's age.
Oh, yeah.
She does kind of give you a little bit of a quizzical look, but
Oh, well, hello there.
you have not aged well.
That's an odd thing to say. Do I remember?
Roll me a history check. It is probably going to be fairly hard, as you do see
And
her.
that's why we use the fighter damage.
Yeah, baby.
Keen mind is too impossibly good.
It's a 1. I reroll that. Well, not great.
It's fuzzy, but you do remember, especially you're traversing this far northwestern, especially for the nice greenery, recognizing much of the clans here. Though it does escape you, especially for how comparatively, when they get older, obviously they're much more comprised and not like, bright-eyed as the others. They get more of like a serious, stern tone, so that might be a little telling on that front.
We'll give a huff and look them up and down. Well, yeah, you're right. I've probably not my prime anymore. But, do I know you?
Ah, Genie.
Were you here when I passed through long ago?
A long, long time ago.
A long, long time, right?
No surprise you don't remember me, but has definitely been an interesting change. You and your group coming through definitely gave sparks of interest in adventuring. I did go pretty far south. Originally visiting, well, a couple of places. Even as far as Hartcam, but I still remember the stories you were sharing over at the tavern.
Oh, I've got a lot more now.
Care to get a drink and catch up? Being how, I think it seems like kind of a drinking day. Tell that she is, probably very much clearly picked up on the news that is passed very swiftly for your procession.
Be right, I'm on rather sad business here today. Drink would be good.
Come on then. It's never a great day. Well, a family member comes home and isn't able to tell their stories anymore.
Up to us to tell them for him.
Judging by the last time, I'm sure you have plenty to tell of him anyway.
Oh, he's a good kid. You'll be proud of what he's been up to.
I could only imagine. He was always the most fiery from before you left.
Wembley nods thoughtfully, thinking of all the times that Ven got himself into trouble. It was quite a few times.
More than enough time. Go to get drinks with you and eagerly listen for all of those wonderful little memories of chaos that he has picked up on and shared.
Also, during the conversation, I'd like to try and figure out who exactly this is from my past. Just a person that lived here and remembers me? Is that it?
I'll give you 2 more rolls of history check
Okay.
as you'd spend some time.
Hooray!
100%. This is... It kind of comes to you a little bit later, especially when you're at the tavern here. As it's the same one you and your group came here years ago. And stopped at for a while.
Good to see things are the same.
But you recognize her as one of the more rambunctious lot that was so entertained with the idea and the thought of being able to be an adventurer too, that she had tried to attemptedly jump you after you came out of the tavern.
Oh, well, like rob us?
Yeah.
Okay.
You remember so distinctly because they didn't just come at you with daggers or anything. They literally jumped at your money pouch and bit your arm to try and get.
Were they like a little youngin' back then?
Oh, very much so. She is much taller
Right.
from what she was before.
Yep.
But she is clearly grown up to become an adventurer like she intended. Whether or not it's great as you remains to be seen.
I assume this came from Wembley foiling her attempt and then giving her the dad talk.
Very much so.
Yeah. Good to see you're on the up and up.
A lot better than when I was before. Actually using swords now. As she kind of gestures to the sheath on her hip.
Good stuff. Have you got any adventures under your belt?
Well, 1 or 2 into the soot wastes I've managed to go through.
Oh, really?
Well, of course, 3 vaults. Not like anyone else could really speak the same, but no. My time ran out, though. I kind of had to return to my duties here.
Oh, I'd very much like to know about that. Thinking about heading into the silt wastes myself. That was actually one of Ven's goals, too.
Shame that you didn't get the chance to.
is. Just gonna have to do it for him. Got an idea of what he was looking for, and we'll get that done.
And you're always pretty hopeful for such things, but finding old family relics is always a great difficulty. Sadly, I couldn't find any for us, but at least still, that's some success.
Please do tell. Let me buy you a drink.
I shall happily share her own. As the rest of you who are still at the home, or if you've traversed around those who are still nearby. Would hear the familiar sound of teleportation magic for some.
Oh god.
Oh, dang it.
He's getting off the bill.
If you look outside, you would see a much more capably dressed looking man. As they are fairly heavily decorated, from what you could tell, especially for their armor and weapons. But still keeping a fairly stoic composure. Beside him, another person, assume maybe for the magic itself. Not so serious looking as the father figure, but seemingly to be the one who had possibly gotten them here. For a few of the pieces and other things worn. You very much can tell that the various metals and other items telling of where they had been don't seem to tell stories of being on the surface, but definitely much more heavily as where they've landed. A almost sea breeze scent out of salt, very heavily in the air. With that, he does waste no time, and he will come in almost a military fashion, walking into the homestead. and obviously to his wife. Even though fairly sad, and Ellie is grieving much more heavily, but still trying to keep her composure for the moment. Would hug on to him tightly, as those who were nearby would hear discussions for the preparation of the funeral.
I think I'm just sitting outside. I feel weird just sitting next to a grieving mother next to their child. It's like, oh, yeah.
Hardly know.
Yeah, really, that's the point, is that it's like, if I knew her at all, it would be less awkward. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, here's your dead son. When's dinner?
It's
It's dinner, sir.
rough.
Bro.
It's at this point that you would see the father go to hold her tight, but also finally open the coffin so that they might see Ben.
And the glitter bomb activate. Make a deck save.
There's a joke the whole time.
No, Ben's just inside, he's waiting to surprise them.
Alive the whole day.
The most fucked up way to return home. With that, you do see him taking a moment to collect themselves before he will go to get up and, well, make sure that the funeral rites are ready. You would see him go to a few others and start leading him effectively towards the beach as they are getting ready. A few others come to the house as they will help Ellie make sure that Ben is properly prepared. As you can tell very easily that they are going to be preparing a pyre for him. As this is going on, you would see one of the women kind of approaching the group. A little bit sheepish, but keeping a composed face about her. So, are you all alright? I know, probably seems a bit weird, but we'll be making a funeral prior if you wanted to say any last words. And she's just kind of addressing those who are at the house.
I would like to.
As would I. We came all this way. There's no sense in not doing it.
Cat.
It's the Cat Island. Home of Cat.
We are in Cat Town.
Welcome to Cat Town.
Toxoplasmosisville.
I hope you're familiar with your Catanese.
Meow, 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 meow.
Helm of Comprehend Languages, go.
You said what about my mother? Meow, 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 meow.
Good morning, everyone.
My grandmother too, you sick bastard.
You're a real menace. I'm getting my friends. We're killing you.
Meow, 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 meow. That's it. That's it.
That's it. Start the fire. We're burning you alive.
I'm actually going to approach the group.
Ooh,
Yes.
we're getting a group introduction. I didn't realize you would
Yeah.
be attacking us now.
See
New Jake character.
the man who had arrived with Ven's father.
Oh, Catboy too.
That's way too.
I can't believe we got Catboy too.
New and improved.
I haven't really thought of a voice, so I'm just going to do my voice for you.
It's very fitting already.
You're Ven's friends.
Yes, we are.
I'm not sure if you know about the rights here, but if you were close enough to him and you have an object of significance that you two shared, if you're willing, you put it in the pyre. And he'll sort of glance over to Annette, who I assume is like the most distraught, and he'll just say, if you were close enough to consider yourselves family, you can offer your own blood to go with the spirit.
Right.
And he'll just nod and leave with his mother.
We'll have some time before the pyre is ready. Especially at the time of arrival, be a few hours before sunset. As the Day Weather's on. The woman who had originally asked if you would need anything. That's sticking nearby, but then being prepared by his mother and other family and fellow clans. Is there any preparations being done before the day fully whittles away? See also that there are other what seems to be respected clan leaders from all the varying families going by to pay respects to Annalie and as well go down to the beach and share their respects with Hen's father.
After getting this ending, Wembley will tell Jin?
Mm-hmm.
Tell Jin that I can catch up later. Could go meet the full family. And he will go and do that. He'll introduce himself, get familiar with Ven's family. Tell them a bit about like how they met and all the good things.
Alright.
And he is a bit
Bit inebriated.
no, not too much. Like, you wouldn't drink that much on a day like this.
Sorry.
He experiences some trepidation upon seeing Ven's brother, who he was told would come and murder him if he didn't do the vault stuff.
So you're gonna like seek me out before the ritual starts?
I mean, if you're like hanging out at the house where we've been told we can sleep.
I think most of the family is going to go set up a pyre. So unless you're gonna interrupt to do that, then
No. I mean, would it be appropriate to help?
probably.
Or is that like a family-only thing?
It depends how much you consider yourself Van's family.
True.
You weren't there
Do-
when he made that offer to everyone, but
Yeah.
someone can catch you up.
I don't know, I feel like we were pretty close, but I don't know if that's close enough by their standards, so I will stay out of it. Rather
I don't
not
know
be
if
insensitive.
I don't know if we were close enough to mingle with a crowd of strangers to build a funeral pyre close. Feels a bit extreme to me.
Maybe, like, is it disrespectful to not help? Culture is hard.
As you are. Staying away for the moment. Take some time. as the day will start to whittle to more closing finish. You will see Ben's father return. But he is still stern-faced, still stoic, as unshaken as possible. You would see him go to Emily, who's made and ready. Very brief moment of recognition between each other. You see her trying to keep composure, but slowly breaking down. As he would retrieve his son from the coffin and start proceeding out towards the beach. Would be following suit after them for those who would wish to pay respects and offer their gifts. See a number of people come. You've been seeing some gifts that had been left by the other clan leaders and those who had helped build the pyre as well. One by one, you see these many family members either going up to give blood or something that Ben would take with him on his journey.
Hmm.
You do see as well
Speech! Speech!
Yeah, yeah.
that others walking forward not only have a gift but also carrying a knife with them, leaving books, some older looking toys and others, but each one with a knife would cut their hand appropriately and let their blood wash over the pyre as well, along with the memorial tokens. Each giving their shared prayer and wishing to see Ven off on a safer journey now that he is home. You see, Festus do the same, if not only leaving behind what seems to be a couple of drawings they had made together, but also mumbles what seems to be a promised event. As he shares his own blood on the pyre as well. You do see that as much of these processions go, you tell that, especially in these respects, Ven's father would be the last as they await to see what words he would have to say or tokens to put on the pyre.
Alright. Step forward. Ven may not have been the smartest of us or the strongest, but I believe in our group he was at least the bravest. To the very end, he. Yeah, but you're not the strongest. Shut up, Ghost.
Your strength scores 0 now.
He did not waver. We took upon a foe we knew was likely to kill us. But even then, he refused to give up or turn his back. He said to me that he'd rather die than let it walk free, and well, we managed to stop it, just not soon enough. Afraid that never really got to share anything with him but time. Something of which I've come to learn we have very little of. Hope that I can carry the strength he had in his heart with me when my own time comes. I'll turn and step up to the pyre a bit. Dropping my voice a little, more talking to myself. I don't really have any bonds like regular people, but I would like to think that you were at least the closest thing I had to family. And given that I've double-checked my inventory and do not in fact have a knife, I will use my glaive to slash my hand
Oh, that's hardcore.
and squeeze, like clench my fist to squeeze blood out onto the pyre. Bye, Ven. May we meet again sometime.
I'll go next. Ben died fighting for his ideals. And so we will carry them on for him. He is gone but not forgotten. And so he will live on through us a little bit. We miss you, Ben. I also don't have a knife. I've got a long sword that I'll cut myself on. And offer some blood.
Flint fire sword.
Yeah, it catches on fire, sets the pyre early.
Shit!
No, I just meant that, it was the cult of the meteor sword. You're just pulling out at his funeral.
Oh, was it? Yeah, it is that one.
Because I still have mine in my bag.
I forgot it was from the cult. It's fine.
Oh, sure. I'll go next. Ben was the most courageous out of all of us. He was brave enough to do what needed to be done whenever it had to be, even when I lacked the strength to do it myself. He cared for all of us. He put himself in harm's way to save my life many times, and the rest of us as well. It hurts me that I wasn't able to do the same. Goodbye, Ben. And I'll place a book that I bought a while ago of the Ash Waste's history, and cut my hand with a knife onto it.
I have a brief question.
Mm-hmm.
Has it been specified explicitly that this is a pyre?
Yes.
Yeah, we've been told several times this is a pyre.
I will go last as the person who bleeds fire.
No, the dad goes last.
Okay. I will not bleed on the thing. We'll figure something else out.
Quick, give him some of your
Yeah, you want some of my blood to use?
Oh, perfect. I stab Azur.
Thank you.
I pull out the Magma Ruby. No.
You don't have that anymore. We broke it. What you broke was an illusion. I was carrying the real one.
Sure, there would be the power if you would have collected that.
I'll
Probably would have taken that with us, yeah.
Leaving that in front of the fucking cultist dudes.
Yeah.
If nobody else took it,
No.
I 100% took it. If only to go and throw it into the sea when we walk to the safe house.
pull out the gargantuan crab tooth.
Oh, hell yeah.
Well, that's metal as hell.
Ben was the only person ever to truly hurt me in battle. I respect him above everyone that I have met as a warrior. And through my own fault, he was not able to be saved. I'm sorry, Ven. May you hunt even bigger prey. And I put it down. I think Socket might just walk, like, south down the beach, like, not back towards everybody.
Walk into the ocean. Don't come back.
Yeah, like Socket feels immense amounts of shame and is just going to, like, that can't meet anyone's gaze. Absolutely not.
That's fair. And it, when step forward respectfully as well. Might not be in a family, but still thought of him as family. Sorry, I could not get him to the temple in time. If you were a good kid. A very good heart. She add her blood to the pyre and heave behind one of the daggers with the blood on it as well.
Siren will step forth, and he's going to start climbing the side. And he'll hold out his hand towards his mother to help her climb to the top. Where he will pull out a dagger and pass it to her.
Holding back those choked sobs. And she would pour forth more blood than you had seen from others as she grips her hand tightly.
Take back the dagger and do the same. Pouring directly onto Ven's chest. Before helping his mother down. And standing to the side.
Helping her down, you see your father approach Vance as he remains stoic, but a brief glance to you and then down to them. As you hear him muttering the final prayer, the journey. As the sun hangs very low over the sea. Almost like a golden walkway. He would draw his own sword. And as he cuts his hand and spills it forth, you see his blood with all the other blood on the pyre ignite. Rest well, my son. We will find you on the road. Soon enough. As he will step back and, sheathing his own blade, extinguishing the flames that had caught through it as well before. Embracing Henley, as she just sobs heavily into his shoulder. As the pyre consumes the gifts, sending Ven on his way. You see Vance turning the rest of your group. Thank you again for bringing him home. I would ask that you respect the request that might be made.
You request something of us?
Saren will look like tilt his head up at Azur. We'll talk about it in the morning.
Yes.
Well, I suppose we couldn't refuse.
Not silently. Turn back towards the fire. As you can tell, that incidentally will be waiting until the final embers die down. The rest quietly proceeding after some time in grieving back towards the town. Jean putting a comforting hand on Wembley's shoulder before she too departs back towards the town.
Pat her on the hand as she goes.
With that, as these skies darken, the gold world is gone from the scene. You would see lads helping and lean back towards their home. So are able to return and rest after a heavy day of grievances. Others, if you do take notice that you haven't seen Socket come back yet.
He could literally be anywhere.
It is a heavy night, as you do hear. And fortunately, crying yourself to sleep. Those who are there within the room especially for the heavy day, others distracted as what had played out before your eyes, would eventually take notice that Thastus is not there.
I've kept it in my bag since getting it back in Arapond, but tonight I'll pull out the little star Mika gave me. Hold it to my chest and use it to try and actually sleep.
That is the game. Especially for how heavy the day is on. Probably for the first time you've experienced in years. Almost as if something forgotten but finally returned to you. You feel stillness. As it cradles you gently. You actually do dream. You remember having this kind of emotion before. Not sad, but realizing the loss mirrors itself in Ben's absence. A sibling. Some would say your best friend, but also still clearly family. Even in the hardest times, when family is arguing, having to deal with other nobles that upset them. Being able to be there for each other. Even when the rest is arguing. Still a sense of kindness. How rare that was. I've not lost that, but in a sense, still feeling that brief loss. But knowing that and men close to them, something you hadn't felt or didn't think you could feel returning. There's a sense of peace as you think of then sleeping comfortably as you do. No longer worried or having to fight the heat. Back home. Journeying with all those who started before him. Probably were waiting for him. For those who are still awake late into the night, and finally hear heavier footfalls as someone finally returns, collecting themselves.
Thank God no one's up to see my red puffy eyes.
Yeah,
I actually imagine Saren and Ven's father are still awake because of teleport jet lag.
pretty much.
Literally came
Or-
from the other side of the world. And probably just sitting like on the porch, waiting for the sun to rise.
Well, then they watch Socket trudge back up the road. Knuckles recently repatched over with clay, still dripping magma in one spot.
Wordlessly nods to you.
I am as shamefaced as a stone statue can be. I cannot meet his gaze.
Let you proceed without saying a word.
I would probably make my way upstairs as quietly as I can and find that everyone is sleeping and the companionship of Vasilius that I was looking for is not there, and make my way back probably to just like a kitchen or common room inside if there is one, and if not, I'd just come back out to the porch and stand at a very respectful distance. like I'm at the far end of the porch in terms of respect. I may consider bowing at one point.
There's definitely a common room if you wish to stay there. See the
Stand like a centerpiece.
partially unfortunate situation as well. the mess that was kind of left behind as Emily and the others had prepared bed, and the remaining coffin there with him, where you transported him. As the rest are able to sleep or collect themselves and let themselves finally fade into exhaustion. Grieving weighing heavy on many a soul. Some much, much heavier than others. But inevitably, sleep does find everyone, one way or another. It's towards sunrise. As the breeze from the sea washes over the city, cold and gripping, until it finally starts to melt away. You hear some stirring in the house. Very clearly, you see, well, those who are within the common room as he walks through first. Vance, head leader of the Sunvine, Ben's father. He briefly looks at you, Socket, while walking through. Before.
Just a very quiet. I'm sorry.
He will hold up a hand.
How?
Gesturing as to silence, open paw. We follow our paths. Not all lead back to home. I knew what he did was right. With that, he will quietly go. Make some morning preparations to help ease the starting of the day, so that his wife and might be more at ease. Making sure that other things are appropriately cleaned up. The wraps that weren't used interned with the coffin that was brought. Making sure to take the coffin away as well. Ensure that it was properly burned and no haunting memory might be brought with it. Be much later.
I'll look up. I'll look up at Socket and just say, "Your friends always sleep in like this." It's barely sunrise.
I nod immediately.
Mortals and their sleeping habits of 8 hours.
Uncharacteristically, he does not make a joke.
Mm.
These damn living creatures and their checks notes. Sleeping until it's bright outside.
It's brighter outside.
We also just spent like 10 days sleeping on a ship.
Which was
Probably the
awful.
best sleep we've gotten.
Yeah. And the beds there were more like 2x4s with a sheet.
I assume our bed was probably more comfortable than that. And even
Obviously.
then, it's still pretty bad.
You could tell that Goliaths definitely have no problem sleeping on that, but for you, it was pretty awful.
Yeah, they got that giant blood. They don't care. They don't have any sensory parts. They don't feel anything. It's like, all right, I'm horizontal. Time for sleep.
Once all is ready. Ellie will finally come out of her eyes still puffing bags underneath them as she had cried so hard. Nods to you, sir.
Morning. We cleaned up a little.
She gives a soft smile. I will start making sure things are ready.
Dad will probably be leaving again soon. Do you want me to send my wife to come help you here?
I would appreciate it. To make sure you and him at least have a proper meal before you journey off again.
Just nod.
She will make her way into the kitchen. Kind of passing glance over you, Sake, before moving forward. Would be at this point that Vance returns. Looking to you, sir, he gives you a nod and then looks towards Sake. I would recommend being with your friends with my son speaks with them.
I'll nod and go make my way over to them.
Go to, well, get some fresh air, but also see how matters are in town and handle them for the time.
Emerged from sleep.
Later, as people are starting to stir, Saren, I'm sure you would hear them one by one, each waking up or shuffling about in the guest room.
Wembley is probably awake first.
Yeah, probably. Because Herb usually sleeps until somebody wakes them up or they have a watch.
Usually the first thing Wembley does is go and cook breakfast for everyone, so we'll go and check the kitchen.
You would check the kitchen. Yeah, probably past there on the way. But you definitely see.
Alright.
There's some food for you.
Oh, I was gonna cook something for you all.
It's all right. My parents have already left.
Alright then.
They'll sort of follow you into the kitchen.
You would see Ellie and your wife. Setting out a much larger collection of bowls, as well as, well, more than one or two pots of a couple of more breakfast style stews and things that they would have more easily on hand that didn't need too much attention. A lot harder to burn. Morning.
Morning to you all. Is there anything I can help with?
We got some business to discuss when your friends are awake.
Oh, very well.
Yes, you should probably focus on that first. If you, well, want to bring a tray for them all, as she will start setting up a couple of bowls and spoons and all that.
Alright, I'll go wake them up gently.
See a much more stable woman standing next to him. He's much younger, but a little more stern but jovial.
Give them all a smile and a respectful nod, and then Emily will go and wake everybody up one by one.
It's morning, isn't it?
It is morning. Ben's family has some. They've made some breakfast for us, and there's also some business to discuss.
Clam chowder.
Not sure what that's about. Clam chowder.
Yeah.
Standard Josh breakfast.
Damn.
Clam chowder with rice.
A simple
So-
breakfast.
A simple breakfast.
Is clam chowder simple? I've never looked at a recipe for it.
It really is. You just shuck them and then throw
You
them
just
in.
boil shit.
Yeah, it's the most simple, like low simmer.
Yeah.
Throw it in a pot, let it cook. Got your potatoes, got your clams. Sometimes you put corn in it.
Well, we'd best not keep them waiting.
It's alright, take 5-10 minutes. They're setting up poles for us.
Take 5 minutes to set up a bowl one layer.
I mean, 5 minutes to wake up. I don't know about you, but I've got some messy bed hair when I wake up.
He could just like sits up, having slept like fully dressed on the floor.
Quite soundly, too.
Probably looks exactly the same as when they're knocked the fuck out dying.
Huh.
Yeah, it's kind of haunting a little.
Well, you know, the fact that they don't breathe and have never slept before.
You just naturally go into the Yamcha crater pose for optimal sleeping.
Or you don't sleep like that.
No.
The natural crater.
Pathetic.
Pathetic. That's right, Yamcha is the real man. Parentheses,
And we all
no.
go and meet them for whatever this talk is about.
Yeah, freshen up, brush our hair, straighten our clothes.
Brush your teeth.
I assume the Archmage's robe is immaculately comfortable. It's like super pajamas.
Pretty much. It's like that soft gossamer. So, breathes easy, but hugs like warmly.
60,000 gold, I better do all that.
But, as you would come out to the common room, socket, you would have seen Annalie and Rhea setting up the bowls on the table. See Annalie occasionally pause and look at the blank space on the floor where the coffin was for a time. She finishes setting the table and looking at it. I will let you end. Let's go.
Just nods.
As she will head out for the day. No, full well that Vance has gone ahead. She's probably gone for a moment to breathe, but also to visit the ashes of the pyre. As everyone comes out, you would see Darren, Rhea, as well as Saki within the common room. A table set with various bowls of clam chowder, some bread, and a couple drinks as well.
Please sit down, because I'm gonna eat. My wife's gotten a lot better at making edible food.
Been practicing. Okay, maybe most of it was Anthony. Mama is a really good cook.
Sure.
If you haven't picked up by now, I'm Saren, Van's brother.
I don't think I've heard anybody pronounce your name, but pleased to meet you, so.
My brother didn't really tell us a lot about you all, other than Wembley Greenhill.
But me? Told us a little bit about you, not a whole lot.
A little bit. Well, don't worry, I'm not as scary as he probably made it sound.
Oh, he made you sound quite scary.
That'd be my father's influence. Van and him were at odds a lot. Anyway, can you all tell me anything that Van told you about why he was, well, in Stilltide?
Oh yeah, he was looking for a way into the Silk Wastes. Looking for a key to get into a vault and find some ancestral relics. Something for your clan.
That's about as
And that's
much
where
as
he
I
left
know
it?
as well.
Well, we never got into the Silk Wastes. We were going to, but
He never told you why he wanted what he wanted.
No.
Oh, that's a good question. Did he?
Like, I'm 100% sure you didn't tell me.
Was it something to do with peace with elves or some shit?
Oral history for that.
I feel like this is in my notes somewhere, but it would take me like 20 minutes to find it.
I mean,
Oral
if I
history.
recall correctly, Van did like a Giga lore drop like one session before he died.
Mm-hmm.
Until
I feel like
rewinding that session in my head.
I feel like 17's probably enough to remember something that was like 10 days ago.
For sure.
He basically told you that he needed those basically signs of royalty in order to unite all of the clans as one clan.
Oh, that's right. I do remember that now. Yeah.
Because if they're not all combined as one clan, they can't really make a decision as big enough as going to war without, a solidified leader. And from what you remember, Ven's father very much wants to start a war.
Do you say with who?
Yes, against the Ifriti.
Right, yeah, okay.
So, rewind. He asked you, how much did Ven tell you?
You mentioned you wanted to get some old ancient relics from the Silk Waste Vaults. Something that would prove something in some regal nature, a way to unite the clans, and they'd all find a way to agree on something. Does that ring a bell?
Josh, is this where I make an insight check to see if he's holding anything from me?
I would say
Hmm.
probably, yeah, considering that's been discussed multiple times. Probably would like to hit that deception or persuasion.
To be persuasion.
Definitely, being honest, seems to be the total recollection that Wembley has for the moment.
All right.
He is trying to tell you everything he recalls, but he is an old man.
Get that old brain.
Yeah.
Sort of got to give Ven credit for not spilling all the beans. Ven mentioned that he had a ring with a skeleton on it. Do you guys have his stuff?
Sumanet does.
That's right, we does have that ring. We kept his stuff. Somebody's got it. Looks over the net.
She would take out Ven's bag of holding, along with his effects. Go to start upturning, but kind of piecemealing out of Ven's bag of what was in there. And amongst those things, those things is the horned skull ring. Amongst those other items as well. Still surprisingly, as Annette remarks, like she didn't put it in there, but Socket's gem.
Yeah.
Even though he ran away with it, he never got rid of it. But Sarah, you definitely recognize the aforementioned ring and the symbol of Lady Ilmo.
You all don't mind if I take that, right?
I don't care.
What do you want it for? Do you know what it is?
His letters said he used it to communicate with someone. Not exactly sure who. He left out a lot of details for security reasons.
Oh, you must be talking about the skeleton.
Now that we're here in person, we can fill you in on those security reasons.
Yeah,
You would like to know?
The biggest thing is he seemed to emphasize that you, he points his fingers at Wembley, are very essential.
And he was vague on why.
Very vague. Like I said, we mostly trust the Goliaths to not tamper with parcels, but it's not 100%.
Alright, well... I mean, yeah, I've, out of all of us, I've been in the Silk Wastes the most recently, and I've got some experience with vaults, so I probably thought I'd be as, really handy in getting into one himself. And Wembley is now definitely deceiving about not mentioning the Fucking Jim.
Yeah. Do you want to do a new roll, Josh? Or
Mm-hmm.
keep the same?
Yes, I would do a new
Because
ball.
he's deceiving now.
Yeah, this is deception now.
This is a whole new ball.
It is. Do I have a thing for that? No, it's only for persuasion. Fuck.
Rip.
Where's it lying?
He starts sweating.
Fuck.
Oh,
Oh, that's low enough that I might succeed.
However, if it is a fail, I can roll a
Ah.
d10. Never mind. It's all good.
Rip.
I mean, he's a little sweaty, but it is starting to get towards the hotter part of the day, and he doesn't seem too bothered by the question.
Everyone else at the party is like,
You're just like, please don't ask me. Please don't ask me. Don't ask me.
His letters seem to imply something more, but I won't push it. On that note, Ven's mission needs to be continued. You probably heard a little bit about a timeline from him. His was more because of his vow of solitude. Not really allowed to leave for more than a year. But
yeah, I think he said he had another 5 or 6 months.
yeah, at that point I was supposed to sort of replace him now that I finished training with my father.
Oh,
Um,
you're going to finish what he started.
you see, we can't exactly just send a whole squad of people into the Silt Wastes. That would draw way too much attention. But one group with only one member of Sun Clan, well, that's just a coincidence. So this is gonna sound weird, but I don't know what you guys were doing, but you were making progress. Can I take Ven's place?
Defining what we were doing as making progress feels extremely generous.
Our vague goals, if you could call them that, were somewhat aligned with Ven's. We were trying to get into the Silt Wastes, maybe not immediately, not right now, but in the future, that was the plan.
Yeah, that was like the extremely far distant future. Like, I didn't want to think about it far future.
4 months ago, we would have been, I think, killed very quickly upon entering the Silt Wastes. And now
Oh,
I
yeah.
think we stand a much better chance, but I'm still not sure if we're ready for that.
But you've got to understand, even this minimal progress that Ven has made with you is almost more than anyone has made in a few hundred years. This is, like I said, not a thing we can just openly work on. You may have noticed that my mother and father have left the room.
Right.
Is it because they're not allowed to know, or so they don't tell anybody?
It's because if anyone knows that they're working on this, it would reflect very poorly on our whole people. My father is the leader of Sun Clan, which is probably about a quarter of the entire population of the city. If he was to do something so openly hostile, it would cause problems.
So it's politics then.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not. I don't think I want to step in all of that, but what I do want to do is fulfill Ven's wishes. We'd all like to see what he was doing through to the end.
I'm not ordering you to march in there right now. I'm just. He sort of frowns a little. I can tell there's something you're not telling me. And I know it's not gonna. I can't just give you something for you to tell me that. I've got to earn it.
We'd be right about that. We all earned our place in this little adventuring group, and well, we shared and confided some things in Ven. So when you earn that, then we'll give you the full picture.
So, Wembley, everyone else. Sorry, I didn't really get your names yet.
I'm Azur. Sorry, I don't think I ever introduced myself.
You mentioned training. Trained to do what?
Me and my father were glorified bodyguards for a few nobles on the other side of the world.
The world.
Yeah, very far. If we didn't have a couple skilled mages here, it would have taken us half a year to get back.
Be some important business over there if you're working so far away from home.
It brings in a lot of money. Money that we
Yep.
need and
Fair enough.
can't really make in this continent.
The economy is in shambles.
So, what I'm asking is, what can I do for you? I know Ven was, pretty feisty, but probably not as strong as me, sorry to say. You need a new frontliner?
Ah,
Suppose, yeah. Would be interested to see what you could do.
You don't happen to have somewhere that you could have a little sparring match, could you? Do you?
Oh, now that's an idea.
Well,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
beaches everywhere.
As much as I'd love to just believe you off the bat, putting your skills to the test would give us a better idea of what we're working with.
you want the man with the frying pan or me?
What, I don't get to be an option socket?
I was going
Urgh.
to suggest
Frontliner.
Cecilia, yeah.
I will cede the floor. Never seen a Celia want to fight before. For a fucking spar. Hell yeah.
Before we...
Not you, though, Azur. You're in a whole different
No,
court.
I didn't say I want to. You
I'm wearing
presented
pajamas and I fight with a
offer.
stick. I don't want to duel.
I just felt offended that you were leaving me out.
You take it the wrong way. You'd beat all of us.
How dare you assume that I don't want to? I don't want to, and you were right, but how dare you assume it?
God damn right.
Before we step outside, there's something else. You never really told us how Ven was killed.
That is something we should talk
I-
about.
Hmm.
Might have touched on it. But since you're so fond of secrecy, I'll establish a telepathic connection with Saren.
No, say it right.
Say it left, now center.
No, it's not the gay thing. It's different.
Yeah, I'm not making him
That's a
gay.
different
That's a
feature.
different ability.
You might break up a marriage if you make him gay.
No.
So what is this one? Is this transing his gender then?
Yeah, transing his
Yeah,
mind.
Trans is your gender.
Oh.
The train
Is
over
there,
you.
is there trans anywhere in this?
You sure?
You don't know
Just
that.
wait.
Are you sure?
Telepathy doesn't have trans in it.
Just wait till we
fucking
find out
degenerates.
that
You're
Sonic
transmitting
worked
messages
on.
into my.
Son of a bitch, he's right.
This is the trans
Yeah.
agenda.
Got him.
They're gonna find our children and transmit messages into their head.
Anyway, with the telepathic bond, I'll just say directly into Saren's mind, if you ever desire secrecy, just let me know.
Are you making it visually clear that it is you doing this?
I mean, I spoke to you, and I'm
Okay, yeah.
I'm at least making my mental voice sound like my voice.
No secrets for now. Trying to win your trust here.
Well, it doesn't seem like it's mine you particularly need to win.
Alright, well, whoever I'm fighting, wait outside. I gotta get my armor on.
I'll help you.
I thought we were offering you the decision.
I mean,
Yeah, I gesture. Me or the frying pan man.
Or Cilia.
Unwillingly, we will force Cecilia to fight you.
Enter the ring.
Look,
Must.
there's a difference between not willing and unwilling. I'm not
there?
wanting to do it.
I feel like that's almost the same thing.
I am simply not pushing for it.
so I'm not allowed to fight the child? He looks at us.
I don't really think
Wanna
you'd find
push over
fighting.
a wizard and kick dirt in her eye.
I mean, you
I've
can
been-
pick the wizard if you want, but I think we will think a lot lesser of you for it.
It's sort of a not the right way to test this sort of thing.
No, I was joking. I've fought wizards before, and it's usually a coin flip.
Yeah,
Whether
that whole
they-
person goes off.
I'm extremely
believe it.
fond of being stabbed. I do not want to duel anybody.
I love being stabbed. Please let me get rid of some of the guilt by
Masochist.
stabbing me.
That'd be hard.
I think this one wants to fight way too much, looking at Socket. So I'll fight you. And he turns and looks at Asilia.
All right.
Oh god, he's gonna.
I'll
they're
answer a
gonna touch
question for
fighter
every
levels.
time you land a blow.
What is your social security number?
I didn't
Alright.
say I would answer truthfully.
Well, that's quite interesting. I'm pretty good at healing wounds myself, so hold back, but not too much. I got you.
To a more abandoned beachhead, or where you can fight freely.
Let's do it where the charcoal of Ven's pyre is.
Right
What?
on top of it.
What?
On top of it.
What the fuck?
To earn our trust, you must wait on the charcoal.
Wrestle in the ashes of your brother.
Wear them like a badge of honor.
It's a ceremonial thing.
Well, by
This is some
volume, most
sky
of those
burial
ashes are
bullshit.
not him, the wood.
Yeah, it's wood.
There's still some ashes there.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying like by volume, it's mostly the wood.
Ooh. Mysterious archway assets.
All right,
Whatever,
climb
you
on the
guys.
archway. Hell yeah.
You arching, dude?
Perfect spot to view a duel. Clearly, we should stand on opposite sides of this small inlet and then duel in ankle-deep water.
That is
Yeah,
the
yeah.
most. That's the most cinematic way.
No,
Because then
obviously
when
you both need to stand on opposite rocks here and
That's
fight
so
across the
awkward.
way until you push each other off.
No, actually, you need to both stand on opposite ends of this and jump across dramatically to swing at each other. If you fall in the sand,
Oh,
you lose.
keep going back and forth.
Just fight normally.
No, we can stand on this archway.
Ugh.
With his
Close
armor
line
on,
look is better.
he has sort of like a navy aquamarine blue plate mail. That is,
Oh.
I guess because none of you know what a fucking elf is, it's very alien in nature.
Hey,
I'm
I've
sure I
seen
know what
elves.
elven designs look like.
I saw
I
a whole
have
city of
intimate
the
knowledge about what
bastards.
elves are. I killed
Sure.
almost all of them.
Is it reminiscent of Weird Elf City in the Box?
No, it's very fishy and watery.
Do ring back a little bit to the smell of a sea breeze when they first arrived.
Smell
I'm
nice.
just imagining the plate mail having like a big embossed like steel fish in the front.
And I don't know what they're called, but you know those like broadswords with like the rings built into them?
A broadsword.
Yeah. It's got one of
Oh,
those. It's
they're
very,
like
very big.
executioner swords?
Sort of.
Sort of,
I
yeah.
mean, literally
ones
just
with a
called a
weed on the front.
9-ringed broadsword. Okay.
Sure.
Uh, you need a moment to prepare?
Just the one. Magic or no magic?
Depends what you mean by magic. I'm gonna light my sword on fire.
Understandable.
Noted. I'll keep it minimal.
You will start Wizard Wins Initiative Disintegrate.
Which
Never should have come
No,
here.
because it wins initiative. Whole person.
Yeah,
Hey,
I'd
just
like
wait
to.
The classic wizard stuff.
I mean, just
Before
wait. I'll
the
be able to
fight
get silent
starts.
image and make it solid on one turn. That's even better than hold person, because then you're stuck in there while I just plink you with a crossbow.
Think, 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 think. What the fuck?
Fuck!
The self
Take 8
injury
necrotic
damage.
damage.
Woof, da, woof. Da.
Sad.
And my
Did they
sword.
up-
You know what? Oh fuck! I should have done lightning, but I already said fire. And you know.
Quick, someone in the crowd also roll initiative and then give it to me.
That's fucked up.
Eating.
That's fucked up.
Okay, I'll do it. Because my initiative's the worst.
What?
Cheating.
It's illegal.
That's illegal. Yeah, you can delete me off the initiative. It's just a funny meme.
Yeah, that was a joke.
Yeah, obviously. There'd be no point if I actually did that.
Alrighty. First instead turn order. Saren. You get the upper hand on this bout.
That gives me a moment to quickly correct the spelling on my notes.
Hmm. until the end of my turn. Okay. As a bonus action, I'm going to use Blood Curse of the Marked. And he'll quickly sort of just wave his hand in front of you, and like a brand will appear on your chest, increasing my Hemocraft dice by 1d8. And then he'll sort of just step forward and quickly swing it. You have a sword weapon out, right?
Yeah.
It's like, feels better at swinging at you if you
Yeah,
don't have anything out yet.
You asked if I was ready. I'm drawing my glaive into like a defensive stance.
Step forward and swing. Oh, you know, if I'm going to amplify that mark. So I'm gonna also take damage.
Doing shit. He's killing himself.
But all
What a
my
strange
attacks
art
this turn
form.
have advantage. As I swing. 27 to hit.
Nah, that misses.
What is that, 6? What the fuck?
Pick something.
Well, we went over this last time, so... That is 0d6 plus 1, yep, okay. That is correct. It just rolled very low somehow. And Rite of Flame. I'll roll that... Oh, ignore the 22, just 14.
Rose clicked it twice.
I wish it was the 22. Because I know
I
it's
see,
fucking
so you
fire
roll-
resistant.
You rolled a 3 and then you rolled a 1, which is up to a 3 now.
You got the spray?
Alright.
Some good damage.
No second swing?
Sorry, there's a woman in my room.
My apologies.
Of course, you are excused.
It's bloody women.
Women.
Ah, women.
There is a second swing. What the fuck is a brand of castigation?
On a hit.
We ask this every day.
Don't worry. Okay, sorry, -4 from that fire damage. That doesn't exist yet. Now it exists. So you take 4 less fire damage.
Okay.
I have to hit you once before it does extra damage. No, castigation is on you. Also, you cannot become a ghost.
Damn.
She can't
My
die?
secret
That's such a
tactic.
buff. Huge buff.
Can't become ghost.
How could he have seen through my secret ghost tactic?
You were gonna summon the ghost army from Lord of the Rings to take him out.
Secret technique, kill myself.
So as he lights his sword on fire and spins it around and cuts you across the chest, and sort of steps to the side and does like a sideways arc, hitting your arm.
Alright, on the second one, telekinetic reprisal.
Strength save. As a blood hunter, I get to add my Hemocraft modifier to my strength saving throws, so 27.
God damn.
Only half damage.
Nice, nice.
Don't worry, I'm already sufficiently wounded by my own hands.
Yeah,
I think
know
we've seen
that.
Van do to himself a lot.
Yep, it runs in the family.
Clearly.
Funny
Either
that.
your grief is getting to you, you're just expressing it in a different way.
The
That is my
infinite
turn.
crit source. Alright.
Well, also, could I tell if you were resistant to fire damage?
I mean, you would notice, yeah.
Okay. That's me.
Still hit. That's a
Alright.
hell of a hit.
Hey, hits hard. That's good.
We like that.
Bonus action, make me a wisdom saving throw.
Spelling. Wisdom save.
Yes, wisdom.
Alright, wisdom is my second best modifier, unless I roll, I guess.
Once per session.
Once per session.
Woo!
Don't fucking psychic lens my ass.
I mean, I was just trying to establish a telepathic connection.
That's some funny shit.
It's fun. Well, you try to do something to my brain, so I resisted.
Anyway, that's just a bonus action. So, main action, I swing the glaive.
Go for it. Hit.
Alright. Add life drinker. And damage. Oh,
Ouchie.
look at all those ones.
Is that, you changing it all to psychic or something?
Yeah,
Or
that's
just-
all psychic. That is my standard.
Inky.
15 damage.
And
I think we'll miss. Oh, that's a healing. Never mind.
so I patch myself up a bit. And then second swing.
Jesus.
Bring it
Yeah?
Moving around. Don't worry, no life drinker.
Ugh.
Better damage rolls.
Fucking hell.
It hard, kind of take like half a step back, holding the glaive up. Don't worry, I'm keeping count. That's two.
To be fair, you hit her harder.
Is that you?
Yeah, that's me.
Alrighty, sir.
We probably should have determined, is this first to be knocked out or just knocked down? And he's gonna do like an uppercut with the blade. As a bonus action, I use Blood Curse of Exposure.
Damn.
You
Wow.
lose
pulls
resistance
out his
to
penis.
damage
Whoa.
types dealt by my attack.
Well, that depends how many questions you want answered.
Wait a second. Okay, I use this on my reaction when I hit. Wait, reaction?
Yeah.
It is a reaction. Okay. But I can use it on myself. As I swing with the flaming sword. 24. I'm gonna assume that hits.
24's a hit.
And with my reaction, I will use Blood Curse of Exposure. You lose all resistances to the damage types of my attack. Why did I click Greatsword again? The
'Cause-
24.
Great question.
It's what you decide.
Until the end of the target's next turn, so I guess your next turn. And then I swing again.
And
Okay.
for fun, you get another telekinetic reprisal.
Oh, fair.
You'd really have to try hard to fail this save. But it is
Still
fun
damage.
to do it.
Still good damage. And I swing
that was
as you do
almost
that,
next.
forcing me to miss. It is your turn.
No one must swing like that, and I might start to believe you. I will, hex intelligence. Let's see, so I can click this on
The wombo combo.
and swing my glaive again. Hex is a spell. It's not like I'm casting another spell.
Oh, okay.
I also
You're just
promised
getting extra
that I would
hex
keep the
damage.
magic minimal. Glaive.
That's it. 20
more
damage.
Turn these off so I can hold this. Heal for 24.
I'd like to use my reaction, which I don't have, to hold up my hand.
Just as I'm going in for another swing, just stop. Just...
Another one of those, I might die.
Well, we can end it there then.
It spits out a little bit of blood.
Wembley, if you would.
Yep, I'm on it.
You know, I really should have guessed that someone from this continent was resistant to fire.
I mean, I'll hold up one hand with like
Is-
a couple of the rings on it.
Is Blood Hunter a D8
We
or
all
a
gotta be
D10?
prepared around here.
D10.
Really, they're a D10. D8 would be criminal with the
it's a
self-injury.
Yeah,
Lord.
there you go. With magic bandages, Wembley completely fixes one of the worst wounds.
Appreciate it. That really
No
sucked the
worries.
blood out of people like you do. Is there like a visual... Like, what does Life Drinker look like? Are you like sucking blood out of people with the weapon? Or are you like ripping necrotic
Given that
energy
I
out?
pretty much exclusively do psychic damage as well, I feel it's more just like sapping your like your willpower.
So I probably wouldn't really even notice that you were healing.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be like there's definitely like cuts on me that have like stopped bleeding almost immediately.
Mm.
Well,
Hell of a
as
swing.
promised, you landed 3 blows, and you've definitely got quite the arm on you yourself.
Yeah, pretty good.
So 3 questions?
3 I'll answer.
How close were you to going down?
At the end there, I probably wouldn't have been able to take another hit like that if that last one hadn't missed.
I gotta say, your abilities threw me off a little.
Well, I promised a low magic, so
So you're saying you held back?
a little. Not so much held back as took a different approach. If I focused more on the magic, I wouldn't have been able to land so many strikes. It's really a bit of a gamble either way.
I have more questions, but they're not really for you.
Alright, guess I'll fight Saren now. Right now.
Let's go.
Give him the pen.
Well, I'll offer one for free. Ven died when the two of us decided to take on a shard of the meteor.
That's putting it lightly.
Well, that's exactly what it was, wasn't it? A shard.
Shrug.
It told
I'm,
us to let it go, and as I said at the funeral, Ven said he'd rather die than let it walk free.
So, Josh, I'm nowhere near as good at history as Ven was, but I imagine I know what that means.
For the shards of the meteor, definitely would recognize that that is a cult that has been basically clung and well known in multiple parts across the land of Torsilna that still give reference to Fatalists, but also have been seeking ways to bring him back into this world, if any way, form, or shape possible.
Maybe something I shouldn't ask when I'm almost dead, but I'm gonna assume that means none of you are friends to the big red dragon.
Wasn't before, especially not now.
There is a cracking sound, and the stone I'm sitting on has a large crack in it.
I think he's suitably found his way from something we could ignore to someone to take vengeance on.
And what about your friend over there? Sort of just tilts his head towards Socket.
He's got a complicated past, but he and Ven were close, I think. Yeah, I think he hates the big red dragon as much as the rest of us.
And that's my 3 questions. Hopefully that's taught you a little bit about me as well.
Was it? I believe I did say I was offering that information for free.
Well, the first one was, how close were you to going down?
Yeah? The second about Socket? Or did I miss one in the middle?
Oh, the one with the general, he sort of gestures to, like, everyone. General opinion on the red boy.
Right. Well, I appreciate the honesty.
As this is going on. Finally walking down the beach after seeing about as fully are and everyone's good. Fastest is gonna come running out into the water. Hey, Socket! Check out the reefs here. They're a lot of fun. And he will dive in and start swimming perfectly.
I
This
will
motherfucker.
unerringly turn, step off the rock with a splash, and walk along the bottom behind Thastus. I do not let him out of my sight.
Alright. He will show you around some of the coral reefs. All the absolutely beautiful colors compared to the dull gray landscape that usually chokes the land with blackened soot.
I do everything in my power to lose myself in the experience.
It is beautiful. This is literally stepping into an entire differently painted out world before you. With vibrant colors that you have not really even had the chance to see, especially in the warmer, more tropical areas. Where the ash hasn't polluted or the mines haven't washed away heavy minerals and poisons. It is pure here. You can even tell that even though some of the clay softens on you from old wounds and other things, that it is peaceful. Even with some of the things that Thassus will bring and show you for the various pieces of coral and even some of the fish that he can. You see him occasionally crack open an urchin or something else that he finds and feeds other fish to. And hands you a couple that you can crush in your hand. Didn't know the ocean better, as a whole bunch of fish would feed on it.
Well, come up to Saren. Now, Saren, first of all, since I never answered earlier, you can call me Acelier. Everyone else does, even though I told them it wasn't really my name.
Do you have a different name?
I am.
Sorry, that's it. That's an extra question.
Yeah, I suppose it is. Still. I am Seeker09. If you've met any of the others, I'd like to know, but... everyone just calls me Acelier anyway.
Josh.
Mm-hmm.
I personally spend most of my time, literally, as I said, on the other side of the world. I assume I've not heard of a Seeker.
Oh, definitely not. If you were more journeyed around here, probably not anywhere near for where you've come from recently.
I can't say that I've heard the name before.
That's fine.
Maybe try asking someone from Tiger Clan.
Well, that does lead me to my second point. How many clans are there?
Oh, technically like 30, but there's only like 6 that really matter.
Right, and...
You want a history lesson?
a little.
He'll explain to you. Sun Clan is what the majority of warriors are in. Like, pretty much everyone in Sun Clan is a swordsman. Rain Clan is the second biggest clan, which is mostly just like farmers and agricultural shit. The rest of the clans are sort of not important, other than Lightning Clan, which is pretty much anyone who has legit magic is forced to be into that clan. They're one of the smallest clans, but also one of the most powerful just because the actual magic users are in it.
Right.
Tiger Clan is stealth. That's what Thastus is in. But they're a very small clan. I can copy paste a bunch of shit if you want me to, so I don't have to just.
Yeah, that'd be
sit here
nice.
and-
Zor dump.
But while you're going over it, just if your Sun Clan, is there like a Moon Clan? Not. Or, like, how does this work? Where do you get your names from? Why are some of you animals? Not physically, I mean,
The
you know,
clans.
Tiger
Well,
Clan.
tigers are sneaky.
Right.
The sun is powerful. Lightning is magical.
And rain is wet?
He's gone. He doesn't want to answer that.
We found out the secret.
He ran. He ran.
Rain is woman.
Rain is woman clan. Because it'll be always the downfall.
Some people believe it's to do with some ancient gods or something, but most of them are pretty straightforward. I'm not a real historian.
That's a whole nother plan.
You know, Ven was pretty read up on that stuff.
Yeah, that's Book Clan.
They're-
We're a bunch of nerds. We don't talk about them.
Plan.
Well, Wave Clan are mostly fishermen. Because they're out on the waves.
Right.
Anyway,
Oh.
Sorry, I wasn't aware there were other clans before we came here.
you've never seen. You sort of look over Thestis.
You realize that they are underwater and have been underwater for 10 straight minutes. They have not come up for...
I just assumed he was part of your group.
Well, you can tell by the giant tattoos on their backs what clan people are in. It's a big city. Not everyone does the same thing.
I see. What to learn then, I suppose. Still, I appreciate what you were able to share. Shall we head back then? I believe at least that you definitely have the strength to keep up with us.
Yeah, no, I think you'll fit in fine.
Whether or not you're stronger than Ven is still up for debate.
It has been a couple of years since I saw him. But I won't force you to decide. At least, until you leave.
I don't think it's entirely my decision to make, and even then, Ven's own goals were never much of my concern.
You'll hold the council.
That's why I think it's more of a Wembley Green Hill decision.
Me?
Like I said, Ven put a lot of emphasis on whatever you can tell him.
Right, yeah.
If I can earn your trust, you can help me out, get what I need. I'll be eternally grateful.
While this is happening, Saki is enjoying the color dreamscape. The other who had walked along with Fastus will finally come to start and approach the group. They dressed very differently compared to the landscapes here, but also pretty much most locations that you've seen anywhere, actually. But that he gives a nod in your direction, sir. I assume I do not need to wait, then. Will I be taking your father back to Fenaquia?
Yeah.
We know that one.
They keep good company. Poor Queen of Leviathan smiles on that one, so just be wary of that.
Keep that
Shrug.
in mind. If for some reason they don't want me, I'm sure Samara will contact you soon.
Not be far. Give a hurt bow. Start making his way back up the beach.
Turn to the group. Enjoy the water. I'm sure this place is probably a lot nicer than wherever
Most
you
of
came
the rest
from.
of the continent. Yep.
Yeah. Just make sure to come find me before you all leave. I'm not
Of
saying you have
course.
to leave. But I'm gonna speak to my father.
That's
I
never.
know. Sort of jog to catch up.
I don't even really understand what we're going to be doing anymore.
The last thing we were planning to do was kind of out the window.
Yeah, mostly. Doesn't mean we couldn't go on our own. We don't need the caravan.
Do want to fulfill Ven's wishes, and his brother seems to be doing the exact same thing.
Would probably be a good way to get stronger quicker, and getting stronger is definitely a must if we want to do anything about getting proper justice for Ven.
Logistically, I don't even really understand how we would lay low an actual god, but I suppose it's in theory possible.
What, you mean Daedalus?
Yeah.
Who else?
Was that on the to-do list?
I
It's
fucking
been on mine ever
emerge from
since he
the.
killed Ven.
I emerge from the sea, the surf, and see. Yes.
Oh, we hate the guy, but that's like leagues further ahead of what I thought we were going to do.
Of what we're currently capable of,
That too.
given the difficulty we had dealing with a mere shard of his power. we need to get stronger, and we need stronger allies. Saren seems like a good prospect, but I don't think he will be the only one we need to make up that difference.
We do have a vanishingly small amount of people that we can call allies, if you think about it.
Well, anyone we get involved, they're in danger. So, hard to really ask that of people.
Well, if there's a cult dedicated to Daedalus, I'm sure there's likely an equally large group of people who oppose him. We just need to find the people that oppose the cult.
It's an interesting proposition.
The Daedalus
Oh.
haters.
What are the Crushing Tides' opinions on them?
Weird
Look
odds.
up at a net.
Maybe we should wait for Annette to be here, and we can have some insight from the Crushing Tide member.
I think that is an excellent spot to leave off on, as Docket also looks over to Cephas playing with sharks like they're pets.
And it is going well, isn't it? They're not eating him?
No, they're not eating him. He's quite
Yep.
literally swimming and playing with reef sharks like they are dogs.
Yep,
Well, you
cool.
know, if a shark tries to bite you, just rotate.
Exactly. Just rotate the shark.
Idiot. Thank you for running, Josh.
Of course.
Meet new character, Jay.
Yay. I did think it was going to be a brother.
Sweet
Yes.
dreams.
That was one of the two things I'd considered, because I was like, that's probably one of the only few things that we would actually let into the group. You just showed up like some Goliath, we'd be like, no thanks.
Who the hell are you?
Like, why would we tell you any of this? Please leave.
No, that's why I wanted to set up the appropriate pull-in.
Yeah, it's good.
If we just done a cremation for Ven at the church, he would have materialized out of thin air, teleported in.
Truly.
Like one of those doom portals.
Right.
Welcome back. We are done for the night. Nate's gone to bed. Hello.
Okay, I'll be right back then. I'm gonna help my brother move something.
Sure.
Thanks for the session, Josh. I'm going to go to bed.
Good night, Nick.
Well.
Bye-bye.